Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on this beautiful, 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 beautiful day? I'm currently looking outside my window and it is a very nice day. I'm going to go for a walk soon. I think after I'm done recording this and telling the story because the sun is out, the sky is blue, the weather is nice. I'm definitely going to go for a walk. Today is a beautiful day, but I hope everyone is doing well, feeling amazing, feeling beautiful, feeling positive. But yeah, I just want to get on here real quick and tell you guys a quick story time. Another one. Okay, this one is gonna be very, very controversial because it's about an older man who I used to work with at my old job, and basically, he had a he liked me. He literally like had a whole crush on me, and he tried to be discreet about it, but he was not. He actually was terrible. I caught on real quick, and I knew that he had a thing for me because of the way he used to just talk to me, the way he used to just act around me. Like I could tell that he had a thing for me. But all right, let me get into the story. And we're gonna call him Christian. So I met Christian at this job where I used to work at in 2024. Was it 2024? Yeah, it was 2024. Right after I got fired from Target. Yes, I did a story time on that, and it's called I Got Fired from Target on my day off. You guys should go check it out. But I'm sorry. That was a little dry. But yeah, I was looking and I found this job. It was a daycare assistant job, and I called the place and I asked them if they're hiring, and they said yes. And they said, when can I come in for an interview? I thought I could come in whenever, like, just give me the time and the place. And then I went in for the interview, and Christian was the one who was interviewing me. Because when I was talking on the phone, it was a whole woman, because the lady was my boss. Like, I had a woman boss. But, I think he was just like, the manager, because, he was in charge of everything with the employees and stuff, and, everything we need to keep up to date on us. But, yeah, basically he interviewed me, and, basically he's like, oh, what experience do you have working with children? And, why do you think you'd be a good fit for this position, and everything, all that shit. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I've been working with children like mostly all my life. The only job I had that wasn't was the Target. That's my first retail job, but at least all my previous jobs were like all childcare jobs. And I have great experience. I'm very qualified, so you should hire me. So, he was like, okay, yeah, like, I like your spirit. You seem like you would be a good fit. You feel me? So, you might be able to, I will give you a call. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, bet. So, like, I think the next day, like, he called me because we had to exchange, info and shit. And I think he called me and he was like, oh, yeah, like, so, like, when can you start? Like, I think Monday. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I could start, like I said, whenever. Like, whenever. This is like, you know? So he was like, yeah, like, we want you to start as soon as possible. So most definitely Monday, I want you to come in and, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, I started working like part-time at first, but then they like switched it to full-time, because at first I was working from 9 to 1 from Monday to Fridays, and then they switched it, for more hours from 9 to 5. So then they gave me more hours, and I'm like, okay, that's better, because I said more bread. But yeah, every time this Christian, every time he was around me, like, I just got this vibe that he just had something, like, he just had this feeling about me. And it's like, bro, and mind you, this is an older man. Like, he's older, mind you. I think he 45. I think 45 or 44. Like, he was around that age. He was in his 40s, had children. He was married, you know what I'm saying? And, I was just like, bro, like, and he know I was young. How old was I at the time? I was 20. I was 20 and 21. Like, when I first got hired, I was 20, and then, later on I turned 21, and, I was young as fuck. And I'm thinking, like, in my mind, bro, when I was in high school, nigga, you was like 30 something. But that's besides. So anyways, time went on, I'm doing my job, I'm working, he would always come and, try to give me advice on how I can, like, give the children more energy, and how I can, like, provide more like activities for them to do and stuff. I'm like, how the hell you want me to provide activities? I'm not the provider. I'm just the assistant. I shouldn't be providing all this shit. So basically, you know, he was always trying to give me advice and tell me this, that, and the third. And oh, like, you have a gift. He like, you know, one day he pulled me, he saw I was, you know, doing like some, you know, just a little cute funny thing with the kids. And you know, he was like, oh, you really do have a gift when it comes to, like, you really can teach, like, you do have a gift, like, you know, you really can teach, like, I can see that you do have experience and you know what you're doing, like, you do have a gift. I'm like, bro, I told you that, like, you thought I was lying? But yeah, I was like, thank you. He was like, yeah, like, I could see that you will definitely be a big asset to this place. Like, you really do have a gift. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see it. I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. So, you know, the more, and you know, as time went on, the more and more like we just grew closer, and like, you know, we were just talking more. And I'm not gonna lie, when we used to take the children like for walks and stuff like around the neighborhood, and then we would also walk them to the park so they can, you know, play, run around and everything. And like, he would take this time to like always, you know, try to talk to me about, so like, how you doing, like, what's up, like. I'm like, Christian, this is not that type of party. Like, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, it would make me uncomfortable. Because I'm just like, remember, this is an older man. And you shouldn't even be feeling me the way you are, knowing that I'm way younger than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have an attraction, okay. But to the point where you will actually want to pursue something, I think that's a whole new level, bro. But yeah, to the point like where I wouldn't even sit next to him, bro. I would literally go sit on the other side and I would leave him alone because I know he would try to talk to me and I did not want him to talk to me, bro. He would creep me out. So that's what happened every time we go to the park. Like, I would literally go sit on the other side and he would sit on the other side. I would leave him by himself and I would go sit somewhere else because, bro, I do not want you to talk to me. You know, because I know he would try to talk to me. And, you know, I was just like, bro, I already know you like me, bro. Like, it's like, yo, and he was so, like, surprised when I told him I knew. Okay, because we had, like I said, we had like our contact information because he had to reach out to me about, you know, the position and everything, when I'm going to start, and like, you know, about like daily activities. And you know, we had like a team group chat with all my other coworkers. Like, we had a team group chat and he would be the main one, you know, like I said, he was the manager, and he would basically tell us like what the plan is going to be for the day, what we need to do with the kids and everything, and like, you know, what we need to start doing more. Like, he would basically like just tell us, the team group chat, like, he would basically be the voice of that and tell us everything that we need to do and everything we need to start doing. So yeah, that's how he got my contact information. And you know, it came to the point where he started even texting me. He started texting me, you know what I'm saying? And even started talking on the phone with me, bro. He started talking on the phone with me. And you know, I was just like, bro, this shit is not like, bro, not this like old, bro. Like, I talk to older men, but obviously not that older, bro. Like, that older, you're old enough to be my father. You know what I'm saying? So he would talk to me on the phone, and I told him, I'm like, bro, I know you like me. I can tell. I already, like, I got the vibe that you like me. You are not good at hiding it at all. You were not discreet at all. You were terrible at hiding it. I been knew. I was just waiting on your ass to say it, because, bitch, I already knew. And he was just like, what? You knew? I'm like, yes, Christian, I knew. I knew. Because the way everything, like, he just treated me so much differently than he treated like the other coworkers. He did not talk to the other coworkers the way he talked to me. He did not treat them the other way that he treated me. Like, I was just like, I could tell just by the way you treat me, the way you talk to me, like the way you are around me, the way you act around me. It's just like, bro, I know, I knew. He was like, damn, so like, how does that make you feel? I'm like, well, I'm a little weirded out because, you know, I'm just like, you're mad old. You're older than me. You're way older than me. It's not even like you're you're in your late 20s. I wouldn't mind him if he was like in his late 20s, but you're damn near 50. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little weird that you would even have an attraction to me knowing that I'm way younger than you. You know, so it's just like, I was being honest. I was honestly just being honest. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm being so honest right now. So he was just like, yeah, like, I really do, like, I find you very attractive. I like the way you carry yourself. You feel me? Like, you know, but I don't look at you like you're You know, this was all on the phone call. He was like, I don't look at you like, you know, like you're young though. Like you carry yourself like a very mature grown woman. I'm like, well, yeah, because that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I have a very mature aura about me, but that doesn't take away the fact that I'm still 21. So the way, it doesn't matter how you want to look at me or you think of me, I'm still 21, bro, and that doesn't change nothing. You know, so he was just like, yeah, like I like the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you just handle everything. Like you just seem very more just mature and wise for your age. I'm like, thank you, but that still doesn't change my age, sir. So you know, he was like, all right, all right, all right. So time work go on. We still, you know, he's still, you know, working, and we know I'm doing my job. He's still the manager, and you know, he's finding himself more comfortable around me because now that it's out, the cat's out the bag. Because I know you like me now. I mean, no, he knows that I know that he likes me, and you know, he's like, all right, well, now that she knows, I mean, I guess I don't gotta be like, you know, discreet or very like, you know, I guess I could be more open about talking to her and everything, even though I literally told him like, bro, I would never, because you're bad old. So basically, you know, one day was talking on the phone, and I don't even know why the fuck I even give the nigga the time. I give him the time. I'm not gonna lie though, he was a nice man. Christian was a nice man, because and what made it even more weird was because he was like acting like a father figure, but you like me. Like he would always give me like, you know, life advice, and you know, he would always try to give me, you know, just advice about life, and you know, all types of things, and you know, basically acting like a father figure, or like, you know, an adult figure, which he was. But you know, he would always treat me as if I'm his child, but you're still like, you know, so you know how that's weird. Like you treat me like I'm your child, but then you still like me though. You have an attraction to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the point where I'm getting like weird. Cause you can't be trying to act like a father figure, because like granted he's a father, and like, you know, I think I'm around his daughter's age, or I think they're just a little bit older. And I'm just like, bro, like you can't treat me like as if I'm like one of your children, and you know, you want to be like a father figure, and then freaking next thing you know, you talking about something. Oh, like, you know, you're very mature, very wise. I like you. You're very attractive. So you know, I I was just always honest with him. Every time we was on the phone, I was always honest with him. So one day we were talking on the phone, and you know, he's still going on about some, cuz when I got hired for the job, I was a little like, you know, thick. You know, I had like a little more meat on me. But I lost weight over time, and you know, I became a little slimmer. And then Christian had the nerve to say, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I liked when you were like, you know, thicker. You know what I'm saying? Like you look good. Like, you know, when you slim down, you look good. But like, you know, I prefer like you slim. I prefer you thicker. And I was like, well, granted, this is not your body, so I don't give a fuck how you feel and what you prefer. But thank you. So yeah, he was getting, like I said, very sorry, my nose, my allergies. He was getting a lot more comfortable, and you know, I was just like, yeah, see, you know, you wasn't being discreet, and you thought I wasn't gonna catch on like quickly, but I caught on so quick, to the point where he was like so shook when I told him like, I knew already, bro. I already knew. And he was just like, damn, like, damn. I'm like, yeah, damn, right? Isn't that crazy? But yeah, so I just flat out told him and asked him, I'm like, bro, because he called me again. Like, he was always the one calling me. I never called him, mind you. He always called me. He was always the one texting me, always the one calling me. The only time I text him was work related shit. I never called him or texted him on any given day. But like I said, he was always the main one texting me and calling me. And he called me one night, and it was always mainly at the nighttime. So he called me, and you know, I'm like thinking it's gonna be the same thing. Oh, blah. And it was. And he was like, so what you doing? I'm like, you know, I'm just listening to music. I'm just vibing, you know, it's nighttime. And then he was just like, oh, okay. You know, I'm just calling to check on you, see how you doing, da-da-da-da. I'm like, I'm good. Thank you. And then he was like, yeah, so like, you know, just talking. I honestly don't remember, but I remember what I asked him. I'm like, bro, do you want to sleep with me? I just flat out asked him, I'm like, do you want to sleep with me? And I already knew the answer. I already knew the answer. That's why I asked. I'm like, bro, do you want to sleep with me, Christian? He was like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, Christian, let's not play stupid. Do you want to sleep with me? And then he was just like, I mean, yeah, like, you know, you already know that though, but obviously I want to marry you first before I would ever sleep with you. I obviously want to marry you first and before I sleep with you. I'm like, oh, aren't you a gentleman? Why can't all men have that mentality? But like, Sets, you're old, man. You're very like, you're older. You're way older. And I felt even weirded out when he even said marriage, bro. Marriage, child. I said, yeah. Hey, say what we vote. You already know. You vote. We both know that's not gonna happen. You do know that, right? You do know that, cause bro, I would never, ever. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, I would marry you first though, before like I even consider like yes, I do want to sleep with you. Like yes, most definitely, but I want to marry you first. And I was just like, yo, this nigga has officially lost his mind, bro. So I was like, yeah, well, I told him, I'm like, well, Christian, I always tell you, it'll never happen. I will never feel the same way for you. I will never feel the same way about you, because the age difference is just too much, bro. It's too much. And I can't find myself I can't get to that point with you. I'm sorry. Yes, you're a good man and you're a nice man, but I just cannot get to that point with you. The age difference is too much for me. And you know what I'm saying? I just told him flat out, like, it'll never happen. I'm like, bro, how would your children feel about this? How would your children feel if you were dating and got married to a person who's literally young enough to be your own child? Like, how would you feel if how would your children feel about that? And he was just like, well, you know, you did get me there. Yeah, they probably would feel a little weirded out. They probably wouldn't like it. But, you know, that's not their business. You feel me? This is my life. I like who I like, and I be with who I want to be. I'm like, granted, but you have to think logically, bro. Like, you have to think logically about these things. It's not just freaking you liking me. It's just about just the overall, just, you know. It's about the principle, bro. Like, you're 40 something, I'm 21. Like, you don't see the problem? Like, you don't see it? It's really not hard to see it. Like, and you just don't want to see it because you're just so, you're just too, you know, in your head, and you think that, you know, I'm just gonna automatically be like, okay, yeah, let me give it a try. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I never really talked to an older man before, and I'm just like, bro, like, no, no. I'm like, your children won't like it, you know what I'm saying? And they would be valid for that, because what are you doing talking to a younger woman, Dad? Why are you talking to a young girl? Not even a younger woman, young girl. Okay, why can't you talk to someone your own age, Dad? That's what they would say. So he was like, yeah, like, they would be like, my children wouldn't like it, you know, they probably would be a little weirded out. You got me there, but, you know, it's like I said, they'll get over it, you know what I'm saying? No, they won't. I'm sure wouldn't get over it, because I'm like, bro, why the hell you can't get someone your own age? If it was my dad, I would say, Dad, this is not okay. Get someone your own age, man. Get someone your own age. For real. I don't give a damn. Get someone your own age. The fuck? So, yeah, I was just like, yeah, it's never gonna happen. Please, it's never gonna happen. Okay? So please stop trying to rizz me up. Stop trying to, you know, be smooth, and stop trying to like force it. You're forcing it now. You're forcing it, Christian. Stop trying to force it now. Okay? You got comfortable enough to the point where you start calling my phone, start texting me. Please do not do it. Don't expect nothing from me, bro, because I do not like you. I will never like you the same way you like me. Okay? So please just drop it. Like, it's never gonna happen. Never, ever, ever, ever. And I told him that, and I went off, and I told him, like, bro, like, stop freaking trying to force it, bro, because you're forcing it now. And then he was just like, all right, I'll back off, you know what I'm saying? I'll back off. I will back off. I said, thank you, please. Because no matter how much you try to convince me, bro, because he was really trying to convince me to, like, you know, just give it a try. Like, you might like it. Like, you know, just try it. Like, you know, I'm like, no, I don't want to. No. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like over here trying to convince me to like just give it a try. And I'm like, bro, you're really starting to piss me off, bro, because you're forcing it now. You can't force someone to like you the way you want them to. Okay? So, and you're a freaking grown ass man. You don't know that shit? Like, it's like I'm talking to someone who, you know, younger than me or about the same age as me. Like, you should have a different mentality, bro. Like, for real. The freaking, and he showed me his awards and shit he used to win when he used to like be teaching in Jamaica, because he's from Jamaica. And he was like, yeah, I got these awards. I'm like, okay, so use it for this. Because right now you're lost by lust, bro. And I don't even think it was genuine. I think it was just lust. Because the minute I asked him, do he want to sleep with me? And then he gonna try to cover, oh, yes, I do. But, like, I want to get married to you first. And I'm just like, nah, nigga, you want to sleep with me. I'll fuck the marriage, bro. You just want to sleep with me. I feel like that was your mentality the whole time. You just wanted to fucking sleep with me. Like, yeah, you found me attractive and you want to sleep with me. That's what it is. That's what it was. You feel me? And, you know, I was not with that shit. I told him I'm not with that shit. So, yeah. And like I said, he was always giving advice to me, which I appreciated. You know, giving life advice to me and, you know, just always giving words of affirmation. I really did appreciate that. But just the trying to convince me and forcing it and everything, like, no, you cannot do that. And, you know what I'm saying? You should even feel weird for even wanting to give this a try and give it a shot, bro. Like, huh. But, yeah, so he literally, I think, backed off after that. And, you know, he got fired from the program, from the program we were working at. He got fired. And, you know, he texted me, he was like, yo, like, do you know why they did it? Do you know? I'm like, no, I don't. I didn't even know that they did. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just told me that you're not coming back, but, like, I don't know why. And, you know, he was like, damn, like, well, that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know, I felt bad for him, you know, and I would like, yeah, like, you know, you gotta hurry up and find another job, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just sit around and just, you know, wait for them to think they're gonna call you back, because they're not, bro. Just look for somewhere else. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit relieved, because I was just like, damn, bro, like, whew. But like I said, bro, I always told my, like, he's a nice person. Like I said, I appreciate the advice. I appreciate the words of affirmation. I appreciate all of that. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? But when you try to intertwine that shit with, you know, just feelings and a relationship, and no, bro, it's never going to happen. You can't intertwine that shit. You can't intertwine it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he got fired. And I was there, you know, I was just trying to be supportive and, you know, be there to pick him up when he was down. And, you know, like, that's just the type of person I am. You know, I still got a heart, you know what I'm saying? I could be a little, like, you know, mean, but, you know, I still got a good heart. And, you know, he was just like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I was like, yeah, but I'm like, Christian, you just got to move on, bro. You just got to move on. And he was just like, yeah, I do. And, you know, yeah, so one day I was literally on, this is TMI, but I was using the bathroom, and I checked my notifications, and Christian texted me asking me for money. And I said, sir, what? He's like, he didn't get paid, because he did get a new job. He got a job as a professor. And I was like, ooh, congrats, you know. And I was like, all right, so you good. And this was like, you know, I was literally like, you know, congratulations, you got a new job, and even better paying one at that, you know. And then I was on I was on the toilet, yes. And I checked my notification, and he texted me, told me something, he didn't get paid yet. Like, that's my problem. He telling he didn't get paid yet. And, you know, he needs to buy some medication, or he needs to buy something for something. And I told him, why am I the first person that you ask? That's where, like, he lost me. I'm like, why am I the first person that you ask? You literally could have asked anyone else. You choose to ask me, bro? The same person who you literally have a thing for, and I already rejected you countless times, and you gonna ask me for money, sir? Bro, he fucking officially lost me after that, bro. He lost me after that. I told him, no, ask someone else. Don't, like, you're out of line, bro. Like, you're a grown ass man. Like, what the is wrong with you? You didn't get paid, okay, and that's not my problem, okay? Like, you didn't get paid yet, you asking me. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was just the icing on the cake for me to just fucking just block this nigga and like, leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone. So I literally said no. And then I blocked him, and I never talked to him ever since then, because you got me messed up, bro. Like, why are you asking me for money just because you didn't get paid? Because you, like, bro, I swear, yo, it even be the older men, like the grown ass men who you think would just be more self aware and just more, just, you know, understanding to things. And it's just like, nah, bro, even grown ass men in their 40s, damn near 50, don't get it. Like, they literally are just as bad as the niggas in their prime, okay? But yeah, that's the story of how my older coworker, he, like, you know, he had a thing for me. And this man is twice my age. And I was creeped out. Literally, I was creeped out by the whole damn thing. Because I'm thinking, like, bro, when I was in school, nigga, you was in your 30s. When I was in high school, this man was in his 30s. Like, when I was in middle school, this nigga's probably in his 20s. Yeah. Like, you don't think that's weird, bro? Like, man, these men just, they think what they think what they're down there. They don't think, you know what I'm saying? And I automatically knew it was lust, bro. Because he's like, yeah, I'm very attracted to you. Like, you're very attractive to me. Like, I love the way your body, I just love you have a pretty face. Like, I just, like, telling me things I already know. But, like, bro, you're not making yourself look any better. You're really not. You're really not. And, you know, like, then ask me from, yo, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed this story. And comment down below if anything similar happened to you with these older men, bro, because they be tripping. They be tripping. They be even more weird than the niggas in their prime, bro. I'm telling you. But yeah, please subscribe and, you know, stay tuned for the next video, and have a nice blessed day and stay beautiful and positive. Bye.